Hello?
What are we doing? What are we doing?
You're listening to the only podcast that admits they might know what they're talking about.
Sounds like something a guy in a van would tell me.
This is We Might Know Sports.
I love you. Come on.
With Kevin,
Don't listen to Stefan and his prep rules.
Stefan,
I don't think they care what you like.
and Corey.
I hope everyone has a ball.
We like sports and we don't care who knows.
Where are we at in society today?
I feel like it just destroyed my life in general.
No for gay Jesus people.
There's a no-hitter right now, bottom of the seventh. Oh, never mind. No longer a no-hitter.
I will fucking drive to Seattle and give you a hand job.
The ceiling is the roof. Let's make it happen.
Can I get on this?
Say my name right if you're gonna come on this fucking show, dude. I said Sam Darby. Sam Darby for Heisman.
Sam Darnold?
Darnold, whatever his name is. Ronald.
Say his name right if you're on the damn show.
Buckle up, buckaroo.
Fuck Philly.
And here we go.
Going on, fellas? Still hate that. Fuck Philly. I just said it again too, so that's not. It's probably gonna get clipped again. Oh Jesus! Episode 82 officially divisible by 2.
I just want you to know I do not have the good fortune of being able to take the music out of the background, so...
You don't have the good fortune.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah. So,
Cool.
you're safe. You're safe.
Okay.
Officially, episode 41 was our halfway mark.
Yeah. Divide by 2, 41. That was the halfway point.
All right, let's... Can we take a break from math? I've been doing math all day, so...
Listen, you're the one, all about these dividing episodes by certain numbers, so figured we'd,
You plus us equals we might know sports, Kevin.
Oh, that one hit me.
This is, We Might Know Sports. Is this We Might Know Sports, like, 2.0?
I wrote So Fresh. So, fresher.
You wrote what?
So Fresh.
So fresh, We Might Know Sports, so
Yeah.
fresh.
So clean.
So fresh, so clean. Got a big show here for you. Got a lot about the NFL. You guys getting pumped yet?
Look at this.
I am.
Look at
How
this.
many more weeks?
What is that? Math or football?
This is football.
Okay. I was gonna say that's
Oh,
math.
he's going for it all. Oh no, it's an almanac. I thought that was your fantasy guide.
It is.
Might as well be.
Kevin, Brett Favre's not playing this year.
This is all the stats from last year. Thank you, Corey. FootballOutsiders.com.
Is that whole thing is from last year
year.
and years past, right?
No,
Or is that
it's
just last?
Just all the information I need for this year's draft. It's got projections for this.
How far are you through that book right now? Have you even gotten to page 7?
Well, I cheated and went to the running backs for today.
Okay.
So
Spoiler alert! It's a big podcast on running backs today.
Fair enough. We'll be touching each position for the next few weeks.
Yeah. So we're gonna go through, probably do a wide receiver segment, quarterbacks.
Nah, no one cares about them.
Yeah, fuck the quarterback. Carson Wentz all day, every day. So
tight ends.
we gotta.
It does also have college football in here too. So another thing we'll be covering.
Help you out with the rookies.
Yeah. No, I mean it's got Alabama, Clemson preview, Georgia, Ohio State.
Could have stopped the Alabama Clemson preview because that's about all it is.
Let's see here. Ohio State was projected to have a college football playoff berth 19% before everything started going down. So there's that.
Also, before we get too far into the show, I just wanted you guys to know that the GOAT is here in the flesh today,
No, he's
in
not.
spirit.
In the flesh and spirit? What?
Adam Morrison,
The goat? What?
the GOAT. Got how many championships? 2?
2. Big part.
Infamously cried on the court after losing to UConn. Did Jordan ever cry? after losing?
Yeah,
I don't-
actually.
Oh, just
Not
after-
after,
after
winning. After winning.
It makes you more of a goat when you cry after losing.
Okay.
Shows how much that shit meant to you.
Because there is an infamous Jordan crying meme, out there.
Well,
No one does.
guess
the,
what?
No one does the
Guess
Morrison
what?
crying meme.
Hashtag Morrison crying. Let's start it. Let's get it going. Morrison crying meme. That's happening.
Mm.
So today we're going to be talking about, well, who's going to win the rushing title? What kind of running backs, or which running backs are going to be rushing for 1,000 yards this year? Which it seems in this day and age it gets kind of few and far between, but there's still a good amount.
You set the bar at 9.5, right?
Over under is 9.5. There was 9 last year. And then we're going to talk about which running back we would draft if we had our choice at any.
If we had the number
fantasy
one
football.
pick in any draft.
Just if you had the first choice at any. I mean, yeah, technically, it would
Basically,
be, yeah.
well, not number one pick, but
Yeah, but if you had a choice, if
Everyone was
if
available.
it came to you and every running back was available and you were ready to draft that running back, who are you drafting and why? So, big episode. Oh, and I think the Bracket Boys are back. They never went anywhere,
I
but
was going to say.
well, one of us went somewhere. Kind of left.
I just had to stretch my legs.
Oh, is that what it was?
Mhm.
one of us was contemplating retirement.
Yeah, one of us was contemplating leaving the Bracket Boys for good, but I think he might be back.
Now it looks like they're more just protesting.
Yeah, I think he's just protesting. But probably gonna protest this bracket as well, but we'll see how it goes. Basically, we're gonna decide who the greatest running back of the 2000s is.
Siri
Siri?
wants to
Staying
get
on-
in
How the
on
fuck
this.
is serious?
She said she didn't understand.
Well, she is a co-host in that
Holy
part of the
shit.
segment.
When
Oh,
I
is that, so what, you start hosting the show and then Siri just talks to you?
No, Siri just wants to let people know that she's the tiebreaker in our debates.
Touche.
that
Touche.
happens, do you think that's just the government checking in,
Yeah.
listening in,
Yeah, no, that's absolutely the government.
and beeping out?
It's absolutely the government.
I will.
Tinfoil's on today, Kevin. Tinfoil is on.
Conspiracy theorist
Oh.
himself.
All the
Corey
theories.
Fucking Vanderveer.
Alex Jones needs a replacement, so I mean, there you go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
We do have our question from a couple weeks ago.
Is that yours going off now?
Yeah, I don't understand. I muted this. And
The government is in on our show. They want to know why we're doing big numbers recently.
Holy shit. Something about them UK numbers. Shout out to the UK.
They are quite understanding.
They don't really understand.
we do have our question of the
Intelligence to the UK.
This is all code.
all new
Sorry.
all newness. All newness. We have our question of the week from July 27th. And that was, who does better in the NFL this year, Cincinnati or Cleveland? And in a resounding 3-0 vote, Cleveland is projected to have a better season than Cincinnati.
How do you feel about that?
I have that happening.
Did you? Were you
When
one
we
of the
do-
3 votes?
No, he was not.
No,
Couldn't even vote on your own podcast question of the day. Jesus fucking Christ!
God,
Why are you here?
why am I here?
we can't get good help these days. That's why.
Yeah, I don't share the fucking podcast. He doesn't vote on the podcast polls.
Apparently, my power cord came unplugged.
Kevin's walking off the show again.
I haven't even gotten to the
This
bracket.
fucking show's a mess right now. So here it is, revamped. Hope you all enjoy.
It may seem the same.
Just as much of a mess as always. So, what do you say?
Same
Wanna get right
text
into it?
line.
I'm ready.
All right. So,
Ready or not?
NFL, first preseason game last Thursday. Anybody watch any of it?
A
A
whole
little
minute.
bit.
I did. I thought RG3 looked like the starting quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens.
RG3 did look good.
He did look
He
good.
looked good. I think if he doesn't, I don't even know, like, if he doesn't make it through the cuts there, I think he lands somewhere else. I mean, do you think they're going to keep Lamar, Flacco, and RG3?
Yeah, I do.
Do you really think they're going to keep
Yeah,
all
I
three?
think they're going to keep all three of them. I think RG3 is in a weird spot because I feel like he's just under being a starter, but he's like at that spot where he's probably the best backup out there.
Yeah.
He's in a similar situation to what I felt about Kaepernick. Kaepernick really wasn't a starter, but he really wasn't a backup. He was a borderline.
Yeah.
Could start for a bad team, could be a good backup for any other team. I feel like RG3's in that spot.
Yeah, I agree.
I just don't like Flacco, though, I'm going to admit. It's part bias. I know he won a Super Bowl. I don't think he's that good. I think his defense won him a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I used to be a big fan of Flacco, but I think he got that big paycheck, and he really hasn't been
He's
great
digressed.
since then.
He's digressed, but in all fairness, he also hasn't had a good.
He's had
some
what?
good
Mike
parts.
Williams. That's about it, right?
Yeah.
Is it Mike Williams that he had?
Well, he had Steve Smith.
Yeah, Steve Smith.
And this year he has Crabtree, who I think is decent.
Oh, Crabtree is there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Lamar-
will not be drafting Crabtree this year,
Why not?
although he will end up breaking out, and I'll probably have a chance to trade for him. And
What do you feel about RG3 well outperforming Lamar Jackson, but the crowd chanting Lamar Jackson, like they want
I
him?
think it's because everybody knows what you're getting with RG3. Obviously, he came out hot and then had that injury and he regressed.
His rookie year is one for the books.
Yeah.
Him and Cam Newton are two of the best rookies I've ever seen.
Hasn't really looked great anywhere he's been since then. And so I think people are kind of probably shaky on that and maybe just thinking that he's just going to go back to his old way.
But can we just call a spade a spade? Lamar didn't look that good.
But he's a rookie.
He looks like a freak athlete that happens to play quarterback.
But this is my whole thing with rookies, and I don't believe every rookie is the same. I don't believe every rookie can come in and play right away. And I think Lamar Jackson is one of those rookie quarterbacks that needs time to develop. I don't think he should be. I don't think he's one of those quarterbacks that can come in and just be dominant. But all throughout his career, was he really a great quarterback? I think we can probably all. I mean, he did have times where he looked like a good
Lamar?
quarterback. Yeah,
Well,
but I think it was more everybody excited about his athletic ability.
And I think his college stats are so bloated because of his athletic ability.
Yeah.
He was the best athlete on the field every single time.
Mhm.
He took the field.
Yep.
And he won't be anymore.
Right.
Some nights he might be that good.
Yeah, against,
He
like,
looked
the
that
Bengals.
explosive.
Probably when they play the Bengals, he'll be the best athlete on the field.
He's a better athlete than AJ Green. We're going there already.
AJ Green's washed up. Yeah. I mean, I was kind of more focused on Johnny Manziel, CFL. 4 interceptions in the first half.
Yikes. I obviously was not focused on that. I didn't hear
I
about
watched that and I did not tune in for the second half. I was not
it.
impressed.
It's pretty abysmal.
But yeah, I'm excited.
It got me excited. It
Football's
was good
back.
to see a little football.
Everybody else plays this weekend, I believe. Maybe even starting Thursday, I think.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Fact checking.
Okay.
Panthers,
so-
Bills kick off on Thursday. Same with Bengals, Bears, Bucks, Dolphins, Browns, Giants, Steelers, Eagles. Everyone's playing Thursday. How about that?
Panthers Bills should be interesting. Calvin Benjamin took a little shot at Cam Newton. We'll see how that plays out, but I've heard that Calvin Benjamin may not be playing this week. So
Well, and Cam didn't really respond.
for once, Cam took the higher road. It's not. It's kind of.
You mean he's maturing at age 30?
I don't know. I don't know if I can say he's maturing. See how the rest of the season plays out.
Trying to find what games are nationally broadcast, but right now it looks like Giants, Browns are going to be broadcast on NFL.com.
Disgusting.
Disgusting.
Yeah, it's junk.
You don't want to see what the Browns put together?
No. I know it's nothing miraculous.
Apparently, what's his face there? What's his name?
Miles
Quarterback?
Garrett?
No,
Oh.
quarterback. Can't think of it.
Tyrod?
No. Oh, no, I was talking about their rookie that they drafted.
Baker.
Yeah. Baker Mayfield. Apparently, he's been looking good.
Cowboys 49ers are the late game on Thursday night on NFL.com.
Miles Garrett and Jarvis Landry said they're winning the Super Bowl, so.
We've got Jets, Falcons also on NFL.
I mean, right now, they've got as good a chance as anybody, right?
They're tied with everybody at this point.
Just to let you know, Kevin, I was looking at Bleacher Report's power rankings today. Bucks were last. Dead last.
Hey, they at least won some games last year.
Were the Bengals right ahead of them?
Bengals were not far behind.
That doesn't make
within
sense.
like 3 or 4 at least.
I think it was like 7 of their 12 losses were by a single score. So it's not like they're a terrible team. They just suck coaching-wise.
Can I just tell you I'm not worried because Marvin Lewis announced that we're winning Super Bowls now. Like, that is the goal. So there's no way we're going to be last because we're actually trying now.
Listen. Once you go, 6, 7 years, 10 years? How long has he been there?
I don't know. My grandpa remembers when he coached, though.
Once you go that many years and you don't try, and then you finally decide to put all your effort into trying for a Super Bowl, you're bound to win one. Like,
Is he
all you gotta do is just declare it. Like, yeah, no, we're gonna try to win a Super Bowl.
Now I think 10, 12, 13 years in, it's time. It's time to win one.
But now, I mean, obviously, like, it's not going to happen the first year. It's now, like, they're trying to win a Super Bowl now. So now you get, like, that, buffer zone. You got, like, 2 to 3 years usually to win one.
He's in that, he gets that LeBron leeway.
Yeah.
You have to win one within the next 3 years.
Yep.
Yeah. Fair enough. Marvin Lewis, LeBron James. Fair.
So by the time 15 years in or whatever.
Mm-hmm. We might have one.
Yeah. You guys got a solid chance. So what are your guys' thoughts here on let's get right into it. Who do you think will win the rushing title this year?
Asking me first?
Yeah.
Zeke.
So I feel like
Zeke.
Okay.
I don't even think it's going to be that close.
Le'Veon Bell's holding out.
But
I think Zeke's
from
got
what
the
I hear,
best
he's
line.
going to play, I thought, right? Or no, that was somebody else I'm thinking of. Yeah, Le'Veon Bell, I think, might actually hold out for the whole year. I think he really, truly wants to get paid.
For more than 1 year.
Told you. I would stay away from Bell this year in fantasy football.
But here, so...
Why waste a pick on him when you could lose? Like, lose out.
Yeah.
It's too risky.
So you just think that there's nobody else that's even going to challenge Zeke?
Yeah, I was going to give some reasoning.
Okay.
I think out of the talented running backs that have an opportunity to win the title, which I list at like 5 or 6, I think Zeke has the best line of that bunch.
Oh, absolutely.
I also think his quarterback out of the bunch might be the worst. So that means I think they're going to rely on Zeke for a lot of it, a lot of their offensive stuff. You saw what Dallas looks like last year without Zeke. Not good. He's obviously a big thing. Defenses even prepare for Zeke and don't stop him, which is interesting. Yeah, the government's hacking. The only thing that I don't like about this, which has nothing to do with the rushing title, but more has to do with how teams can load the box, is he's not much of a pass-catching threat.
Yeah.
So you can load the box on him and try. The problem is, I think Dallas's line is that good. They re-signed everybody. They paid everybody well. They're ready to make a go. They got rid of receivers that don't fit Dak's strengths. So I see a lot of dinking, little dink and dunk action. Yeah, a little dink and dunk with Dak, and then pounding it with Zeke. I think Zeke's going to get the most touches. So if you're a numbers guy, the most touches should equate the most stats, especially if you have someone like Zeke who should get 4 yards a carry. So that's why I go Zeke, and I don't know if it'll be close. I'm sure you guys will give me some people you think can challenge him. I'll let you.
Has he finally gotten past the suspensions and everything? Is he finally going to have a full year of playing here.
Yeah, that's why I think. I mean, all of this we're all assuming it's health permitting for everybody.
Yeah, right.
So
yeah,
health
exactly.
permitting for
Yep.
Zeke, who seems to be pretty durable, also.
Mhm.
I think he has a good chance, a really, really good chance. There are some other runners I know you have in here.
Who does Dak even have to throw to?
See?
Cole Beasley? Is he
I'm
still
not-
even there?
Yeah, he's there, and he likes Beasley, but I think what's going
Is
under
Witten still? Did Witten retire?
Witten retired. I think what's going under the radar a little bit, and I know you know him, is Alan Hearns is actually good.
I didn't realize he was there.
So no one's talking about Alan Hearns. Alan Hearns might have a decent year.
Yeah.
I think there's a reason they were comfortable getting rid of Des.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I put
Is he a number one? I don't know,
right.
but he's good.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, does he still put up those same kind of numbers, being the number one target and having, you know, the best corner on him most of the time, probably getting double teamed a lot,
Right.
you know. We'll see.
And
I really think that a lot of defenses are going to stack the box against them because I don't think they have a great passing game this year. So I think that could end up hurting.
one thing that is nice is Dak has proven he's actually only one of two quarterbacks in history to get 6 rushing touchdowns 2 seasons in a row. So he's proven to be a running threat.
He's the only quarterback to do that?
One of 2.
Oh.
Only him and Steve Young. Matthew Berry was betting that he wouldn't do it because it never happened, and he happened to tie it. But then the stat also is all his rushing touchdowns this year were from 10 yards out or more. That's never happened. So basically Matthew Berry is saying that's luck. He's not going to do 6 again.
Right.
Which is probably true. If you aren't going to run 10 yards out touchdowns every time.
Right.
So obviously, my question is, why was there that much room? Was that because Zeke wasn't there, so the defenses were falling back, and Dak just was taking full advantage of defenses falling back on him? Most likely.
Yeah.
It'll be different this year. If you fall back, Zeke is going to torch you.
Right. No, I definitely think they'll be stacking. A lot of teams will be stacking the box a lot more. And I think it really affected Dak's passing game as well with Zeke gone. Like he
admitted that.
You could definitely tell that he's not the same quarterback without Zeke.
No, he admitted that.
Because they could just sit back and then he's got to hope that somebody can get open.
Basically, they were daring Dak to run.
Right.
Run. In the pocket.
What do you think, Kevin? What do you got for the rushing title?
Well, first, I want to give my halfback of the year to get injured. Last year, I correctly picked David Johnson. That's why I didn't keep him on my fantasy team.
Got no proof of that.
No proof other than this podcast. A couple.
I don't believe that.
I believe if you divide it by 2, you can see the episode I predicted it. But I will say, I feel kind of skeptical on Todd Gurley. He just re-signed. Usually that's a sign that they get injured. So Todd Gurley's getting my injury of the year. So whoever's going to have him, good luck.
Did he already get injured, though? Like,
yeah.
He's past his injury. He's not getting injured again.
Or it usually just starts the trend. Just asked one Doug Martin. I like to throw his name around once in a while. But I was going to go with Ezekiel Elliott, but I think in order to change it up a little bit, I'm going to go with David Johnson. I think he's fully recovered from his injury. And the year before his injury, he went 1,200 yards rushing. And who else does Arizona have to go to? The only
for the 6 games he plays.
Yeah.
Does he make it past the first half?
I think he will play this whole season again. I think it was just that one injury that I correctly predicted. One guy that I'm kind of intrigued about is Leonard Fournette. I drafted him last year on my fantasy team, and he was a stud. But does he have the sophomore slump, or is he going to be the sophomore champ and come away with the running? Because who else does Jacksonville have to go to? They don't have a quarterback.
Lost their receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It took us a while to even find their number one, which was that Cole guy.
Yeah. Keenan Cole.
Yeah.
So, those are my like three: Ezekiel Elliott, David Johnson, and Leonard Fournette.
So you got Zeke winning with Johnson and Fournette giving him a challenge.
Yeah.
I as well was gonna go Zeke, but I will also pull an
So
audible.
let's just call a spade a spade.
I'm gonna pull
we
an
know
audible.
Zeke is winning.
I'm gonna pull an audible because of some of the reasons I stated. I think that they will stack the box against him. Whether they can actually stop him or not, maybe not. But it's not going to keep eating. I think that there's a few running backs that are going to be heavily relied on this year. I think Kareem Hunt will be. You got Patrick Mahomes, who
He's not even looking good in practice.
I am not sold on him at all. And I mean, Kareem Hunt started off real hot last year, and then kind of fell off, but still ended up being the top running back.
They started loading up on him.
I think he's a great talent. Whether or not he can actually carry that over into the
sophomore,
and then carry it through the whole year, because he clearly couldn't do it last year.
Yeah, but how much do you believe in the college slump? Like, they're used to playing the 13 games or whatever, and they say that these players, these rookies, tend to tire out right around game 11, game 12 because of that.
It's possible. It could be.
And that's right around when Kareem fell off.
Yeah.
Same with Leonard Fournette.
Yeah. Yep. They both did.
I'm kind of a believer in it because it seems to be true. I never thought about it until someone mentioned it.
But I actually think Kareem Hunt will hit the sophomore slump this year. I don't think he's gonna be as good as he was last year. I think I'm gonna go with
drum roll.
I'm gonna go with Fournette. For a lot of the reasons we talked about, I don't think that they've got much of a passing game. I think the dude is a fucking tank. I wasn't sure if he could. So he kind of fell off, it felt like, at LSU his last year there.
He also took the bowl game off.
Yeah, that too. I didn't think that he was going to end up being as good in the NFL, and he proved me wrong, and he was actually very good.
He lost 15 pounds. He actually took it serious. Came in shape.
And I think they're going to have the ball a lot, because that defense is ridiculous. Jacksonville's defense.
My only problem with all this sounds good, but Jacksonville's offensive line is not that great, so I don't get how he's getting all those yards, other than sheer mass.
How was he getting them last year?
Mass attempts.
Yeah.
That's the only way he's going to be able to do it.
I mean, I get it. Like, yeah, you have to have a good line, but, like...
Let's see here. He played in 13 games last year with 268
Yeah, he got hurt
attempts.
also.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he had 268 attempts. Where, let's see here. Let's just take Gurley's numbers. He played in 15 games and had 279 attempts. So, yeah, mass attempts.
Yeah,
we weren't talking about averages, though. We're talking about who's going to have the most yards. Don't matter how many attempts.
No, I know, but the more attempts you get, the better chance you have.
I mean, we all know how Ricky Williams played. You just give the guy a ball, gets like you 2-3 yards, and you just keep trucking forward with him. Like, I feel like that's Fournette's style.
I feel like Fournette's style is like a young AP. 2 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards, 2 yards. Where's the defense? And then boom, 30-yarder. And then he'd do it again, 2, 3, whatever.
Nobody picked AP to win the title. Nobody's got faith in him, huh?
No.
Where's he at now? He's not in Arizona anymore, is he? I thought he left Arizona.
He got traded to New Orleans, I thought.
No, he was on New Orleans.
He got traded.
There's no way he got traded back. He would not go back.
No, I don't know where he's at. He probably is David Johnson's backup. I think the only threat to Zeke is Barkley.
You're on
I
the
like
Barkley
that. I like that the Giants got Nate Solder back to boost up that offensive line. They also got another offensive lineman, not as big a name, can't remember, but they got him, paid him, put him on the other end. That offensive line's rearing to go. You got weapons, receivers, Evan Ingram, Sterling Shepard, Beckham. There's no way you can load that box. If you load that box, Eli will beat you. So I like Barkley to have a good year as long as he stays healthy. And he had a good he stayed healthy in college, so I have no reason to think otherwise.
Or is it just the
he
beginning?
is kind of the wild card. Obviously, nobody knows how he's going to perform in the NFL yet, but going by,
Well, he
if you
could
go
have
by
that
NFL
surprise
combine,
factor.
if you go by college numbers, I mean, he's destined to be one of the next great running backs.
I think he's going to have that surprise factor like Kareem Hunt. Come out, defenses are going to have to figure it out.
I don't think, but he's not as surprised like Kareem Hunt. Nobody even knew who Kareem Hunt really was. I mean, people knew who he was, but I don't think anybody expected Kareem Hunt to come out and play the way he played.
I didn't think people knew he was that
Except for maybe
explosive.
Matt.
Yeah. That was all about him.
That was all about him.
This kid from Toledo is going to be good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Toledo. That's where it's at. They put something in the water.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Well, we named some names for people to pay attention to.
Yeah. We had 9 running backs last year, over 1,000 yards. I think that's kind of a... I mean, if you look in the past, I mean, I'm sure you guys did some research, and if you looked back at some of the older years in the 2000s especially, we had a lot more running backs over 1,000 yards in a season.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've gotten more towards it's a pass-happy league. We all know that. And it's also running back by committee is a big thing.
I was going to say, that isn't even the biggest issue, I don't think.
It's nobody,
shared.
which I think is mostly in part because of how short running back careers are.
Right, that's how they're extending them.
So, yeah, so by now splitting those carries, like, it sucks for us fantasy players because it's like, oh, what the fuck? Like, this guy should be getting so many more carries, but this other guy's stealing all his touchdowns or stealing all his yards or whatever. But if you look at it from the owners or from the coaches' standpoint, like, you're preserving that running back's career.
I know, I've told you that. I know I've told numerous people that for years. Being a Bengals fan, it pisses me off that Giovanni Bernard doesn't get more touches when he's way better than Jeremy Hill ever was. But they preserve him and only use him for certain situations. Way more explosive. But they're doing that with everybody.
Yeah.
You're going to get a bigger guy to pound, and then your explosive guy that if he was a main would probably be great for 6 or 7 games until he got hurt, is being your off-pace runner nowadays.
Yeah.
Like a guy we didn't mention, the Titans revamped their offensive line. The Titans are all in on Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry could have a big year. But they got him an off-pace guy in Dion Lewis, who has proven to be great.
Right.
So they could be an interesting duo this year.
So last year we had 9. I put the over-under at 9.5 running backs this year. I figured with suspensions and injuries, we could go the upper half of the over-under instead of the lower. What do you guys think? What do you think, Kevin? Over or under 9.5 running backs over 1,000 yards next year?
Well, let's just start here. No Todd Gurley, no Le'Veon Bell in my book. So you start with Ezekiel Elliott, David Johnson, Kareem Hunt, Fournette, Melvin Gordon. There's 5. I'm not sold on Barkley getting 1,000. So I think he'll be used more towards the end zone.
Dalvin Cook, Minnesota.
Yep. Freeman.
You really think Freeman, even though he's splitting so much with Coleman?
Yeah, but I mean, even when he split last year, I mean, he eked out 865 with an injury. I think he was injured for what?
Oh, yeah, I know. I love Freeman. I think he's super talented. But I think he's another one they're preserving.
And then just looking at some of the other guys that possibly could, maybe your boy Joe Mixon. is being projected to have over 1,000.
Yeah. I think Derrick Henry could.
And then I think the surprise, but I'm going to go under actually. But the surprise 9th one I would have is Ronald Jones 2nd, because for some reason Tampa Bay rookie running backs always seem to have a phenomenal first year and then disappear into infamy. That's who.
Is he actually starting?
Yeah.
Or is he?
Yep. And he's projected to get like 968 yards. So we'll see how that turns out. But I mean,
so out of these 9, you left out Gurley, Bell.
we don't know what's going on with McCoy, so I can't really like include him.
So you're leaving him out.
If he plays,
Ingram out too.
If he plays, he's in. Ingram is not even. Where did he go? Did you make me skip over him?
No, you left.
No.
You just left him out. Ingram had 1134 last year, and he shared a lot with Kamara and AP in the beginning, first few games.
Oh well, he will miss the first 4. You gotta.
I know, but that took away from him. Ingram can add more.
AP barely had any touches.
But you got to remember, Ingram's got a 4-game suspension to start off the season. So.
Oh, I'm not saying he's gonna get it. I'm just saying you didn't mention it.
No. I think the only other
So
one.
no Gurley, no Bell, no McCoy, no Ingram.
Nope.
Howard.
No.
No?
Chicago sucks. Come on.
Melvin Gordon, yes. No.
Yes.
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 Fournette, obviously, yes.
I
CJ
might
Anderson.
even throw Jay Ajayi though in there.
I'm not talking about who you want in there. I'm trying to figure out which of these guys you're taking out.
Oh. Let's see here.
He's taking out Gurley, Bell, McCoy, Ingram,
Howard.
Anderson, Howard.
I didn't take
So a
out
lot.
Gordon.
No, he said Gurley, Bell, McCoy, Ingram, Howard, and Anderson. So you're saying 6 out of these 9 are not breaking 1,000.
Yeah.
You're also basing it off of
Projection.
who you think's actually gonna. You're basing it off of who's gonna be healthy, who's gonna be suspended.
Right. Which you have to do.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to. I mean, you can just go by.
Just assume everything goes perfect.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you until something actually goes wrong?
I don't know. One of the 3 of us is an optimist.
I just want to get a Chubb jersey, a Cleveland Browns Chubb jersey. Nick Chubb. Their rookie coming in.
So what'd you go? You had 9 total.
I think, yeah. Sounds about right. You're gonna have to rewatch the episode to get the. I didn't.
What are you thinking, Corey? Over or under?
I'm going under, and I don't think McCoy, Ingram, or Anderson are gonna do it again. I think, who'd I take out? McCoy, Ingram, Anderson. I think that'll be filled in with Johnson, Elliott, and Barkley.
I also agree with taking out some of those people. But I'm going over. I think that 9 was a low. And I think that with Elliott being out for some time, David Johnson being out, and I think Barkley will be in. I'm gonna say fuck Philly, not fuck Philly. You fucking asshole. I'm leaving off Ingram. I think
4 games suspension, big.
I wasn't even factoring in that, but I just think splitting. I think Kamara is going to get a bigger workload this year.
Even after injury, you think they're going to Throw him
I
to the
think so.
Wolves right away.
I think so. I think he's just that special.
What about Delvin Cook? I'm not a believer, but I know a lot of people are.
I didn't even put him in mine. I mean, he was having a solid season before he went down. But I think I've got to see him prove to me that he can get over 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, I don't need Barkley to prove to me. I just gotta throw him in there, so I don't really give a fuck. But
Barkley has everything, I think, going in his favor to do it.
yeah,
He just has to show up.
I think the only two I'm only leaving off. Yeah, just two people, Ingram and Anderson. I think. I don't even know how C.J. Anderson got over it, though. Probably because they had no passing game in Denver.
Because he came out like a ball of fire for Denver.
But Denver's got a decent pass game. They got Keith Keenum, right?
Mm-hmm.
They'll be okay. They're not going to run it as much. C.J. Anderson, I don't even know how he still has a job. I don't know why anybody even drafts him.
I think he's one of the best running backs of the 2000s.
Yeah, you think he is the best running back.
Mm-hmm. That's why this debate is going to get super heated.
By the way, Adrian.
It's a surprise.
Spoiler alert. I thought we were allowed to do secret character pop-ups.
He's going to Siri him in. Adrian Peterson is not with any team right now. He was released by the Cardinals March 31st.
Probably for the better. I would just retire if I was him.
I would hang out and wait to see who gets hurt, and then get paid a little bit.
He always wanted to be a Cowboy. Go to Dallas.
Did always want to be a Cowboy, but he does not want to play second fiddle to Zeke.
Zeke could use the breather for.
He doesn't want AP in his mind. Does not like being.
Because in his mind, he's the greatest running back of all time.
Which he may be.
He may be.
He may be. We'll get to that.
Well, we'll get to the best of the 2000s.
I mean, I think David Johnson comes back and has a solid year. Barkley, I think, is going to put up solid numbers.
I know Bradford's starting. Does anyone believe that Rosen isn't taking his job this year?
I think it's all based on if he stays healthy. And we all know that Sam Bradford usually does not stay healthy. But by the off chance he does stay healthy, there's no way he loses the starting job to Rosen. So I think Bradford is a solid quarterback when healthy.
Most accurate in history.
But odds are not in his favor. He more than likely will get hurt at some point. On that note, who are we drafting? If you had a choice at all these running backs, who are you taking?
Gurley.
Gurley.
Because he's going to get all those receiving yards, receiving touchdowns. I'm a big offensive line guy. The Rams' offensive line is ridiculously good. You got to see the effects of that last year. Nothing happened. The Rams are the same team, so I have no reason to believe anything's going to change. Actually, I think...
Except if Kevin's prediction comes true.
I actually think Jared Goff will get even better.
Yeah?
I think the Rams are even going to take the top off defenses with Brandon Cooks now. I think
but their defense is going to be shit.
Gurley's going to have more...
Aaron Donald ain't coming back.
Donald's signed. I thought
Aaron Donald was still holding out. Was he not?
He is.
Yeah.
He's still holding out.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is actually content with sitting out this entire year if they don't pay him.
So this could be a whole year without Khalil Mack or Aaron Donald?
Probably.
Either way, I don't care. Gurley's good. That doesn't have anything to do with Gurley being the guy.
They don't have the ball.
They're going to have the ball. If
They'll
the
have
defense
it
is
at
so
least
bad,
at the
other
beginning.
team's going to score really fast.
They'll have the ball
have
either
the ball.
at the beginning or at the first part of the second half. Like they'll have the ball at least once.
Aaron Donald wasn't that whole defense either. I don't get why people are getting their panties in a bunch. They have their corners. They have stuff. They have Ogletree, right?
It was a bum. Never draft him again.
They have Mark Barron. They have solid linebackers. They're fine.
Can't wait to start drafting.
I think Aaron Donald thinks he has more power than he does. Defensive tackles aren't. No one's going crazy for defensive tackles.
Who are you drafting, Kevin?
Going off of Corey. Well, probably Melvin Gordon because, get those receiving points from my keeper. And then maybe even Kamara just because the possibility of getting double dipping.
Yeah.
I think ESPN has Kamara in their top 5. They have Gurley second. Neither one of us had mentioned who they have number 1 because we all think he might sit out. So it'd be Le'Veon.
Who's going to be brave enough to take him?
Me when he's there in the 4th round.
Take him in the 3rd round then.
Okay. See, I just mind booted. I didn't even want him.
I would draft Zeke, I think. As we were talking about earlier, I don't think Dallas's passing game is going to be much of anything. I think they're going to rely heavily on Zeke. I think he's going to have a lot of touchdowns this year, honestly. Goal line touchdowns, just red zone touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that Dak. I really think Dak isn't as great as everybody thought he was, and I've kind of said that for a while. I know I've said that to you a bunch.
Mm-hmm. He had a really good rookie year, and he definitely digressed last year.
So I think
it wasn't a huge digress.
No, it wasn't huge.
Not like people thought he might fall off a cliff. He did not fall off
a cliff. But I think we'll definitely see a heavy dose of Zeke, especially with having him for the whole season for sure.
And I actually think you're going to see an upswing on Dak's numbers because I think Dak's numbers are related directly to Zeke's presence.
Yeah. I think Zeke definitely makes Dak better.
Right, that's what I mean. I'd be shocked if Dak has a worse.
I don't think Dak is that great of a quarterback by himself. When he has that threat of the running game, and it opens things up for him, I think he can be a very efficient quarterback.
I think Dak's really smart, but he lacks like the talent, to be a superstar. But I think he can read a defense. Even those plays that he was doing wrong, I heard him describe, and he even knew. He just said it's tough because unfortunately his offensive line kind of failed him too when Zeke was out. He was getting pummeled.
Yeah.
So he knows what he has to do. I just don't know if he has the talent to do it. He's no Jimmy G.
No Jimmy G. Jimmy G MVP this year. We'll get to that to a different episode, though.
That's our quarterback. We're not even on the quarterbacks yet.
What do you think? We're bringing the bracket boys to their bracket now?
I don't know. You're the leader of the ship.
I'm asking your guys' opinion.
Yes.
You want to do the bracket? Let's do the bracket.
We're on the running backs right now.
Let's do it. Let's get at it. So a little backstory to this was we got this is just going to be the best running back from 2000 on. So any stats before 2000 do not count. If the running back played before 2000, those stats are not included. That's about it.
Okay.
So if you want to argue something that happened in 1999, I'm going to say fuck you. Let's move on to the 2000s.
Fuck you too.
We've got a good
got a couple playing games.
So let's start right off with the 16 seeds playing each other.
I would let Kevin start. They're both his guys.
They're both Kevin's. Kevin picked the two.
Oh, I was gonna say these are two solid guys.
The seeding goes by how many total yards they had from 2000 on. So
these are the last two.
Not necessarily based on how great of a running back they are, but just
that's why you had a 15 win our last bracket. 15 seed.
Yeah,
it had nothing to do with how great a movie it was. It's based on the attendance or the revenue.
Yeah, box office.
Yeah.
Rudy. Rudy, 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 Rudy.
Stop, I'm gonna cry.
I'm already crying. So we got our first matchup here, 16 versus 16. Priest Holmes, one of the all-time greatest Chiefs players. Corey, would you like to give a little stat recap on him?
Yeah, Priest Holmes played 8 seasons, all in the 2000s. He had a shorter career. He ended up getting injured in the back half. 78 total touchdowns. He was a big fantasy stud for a lot of people for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I threw him on there.
Because of those touchdowns. This is big to me, for me personally. I give this as a big stat. Won a Super Bowl. And he was a big part of it.
Who did he win Super Bowl?
So he was on that Ravens team.
Was he?
Yeah. He was the backup to Jamal Lewis, but they split.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he played with the Ravens.
That's where he started his career. 3-time Pro Bowler and 2-time rushing touchdowns leader, which we mentioned. He was a touchdown hog for a long time. Curtis Martin. This one, like we said, we're just doing the 2000s. Obviously, if we were doing the greatest running backs of all time, Curtis would not be a 16 seed.
Yeah, he would definitely be in the picture.
Yeah.
Top seeds.
Yes. So he has 6 seasons in the 2000s. He has 2 Pro Bowls in the 2000s and a rushing title. I believe he got in 04. And those touchdowns?
That's just from 2000.
Okay, and he had 45 touchdowns in the 2000s. So his stats are a little less than
But he got
Priest
a rushing
because
title, too.
his stats are a little less because his career was not entirely in the 2000s.
He had a good, 3 or 4 years in the 90s?
Yeah, I think even more than that. I think I saw 95. So.
Okay. Either way, I remember Curtis Martin being just solid year after year.
You can run for the Jets and put up big numbers.
Yeah. Like, there was nothing else going on with the Jets. I mean, I don't even know who the quarterback was back then, but, I mean, they haven't had a great quarterback in a year. I mean, it was probably Chad Pennington at the time.
Probably not such the dirty one.
The goddamn Jets.
Goddamn Jets. Chad Pennington with his fucking feather arm. Dude had, no velocity on his throw.
Mad accurate.
Accurate as fuck.
Played for Marshall, too, I think.
I think you might be right. Priest Holmes, though, flashy running back. I felt like we said, touchdown hawk. 8 seasons, almost 10 touchdowns a year. I mean, that kind of helps. I think he had 2 seasons of 20 plus.
Yeah, he had monster.
So that kind of helps pad your stats a little bit when you had those off years. It's a tough one for 2 16 seeds.
Really? You think so?
I think it is.
I don't think it is, but I'm going last if there needs to be a tiebreak.
I'm going to shake it up a little bit. I'm going to go with consistency. I like Curtis Martin.
Ooh.
I'm going to throw Curtis Martin out there.
I'm going based off of what I wanted whenever I drafted for Fantasy League, so I'm taking Priest Holmes.
I'm going Priest Holmes, too.
I do that.
I don't think it's that close. If we were doing entire careers, Priest Holmes isn't even close.
Right.
But we aren't doing that.
All right.
So.
Curtis Martin.
Kevin, are you going to put him in?
Out.
I got him. Gone too
Next
soon.
play-in game?
Next play-in game. 2 15 seeds.
Alrighty. Corey
Corey's
Dillon.
Number 1.
Little side note, favorite player of all time. Played 7.
Favorite player of all time, but doesn't even put him in his own list.
It just shows that I'm not being biased.
I'm just saying.
Corey Dillon, 7 seasons, 63 TDs. Also a Super Bowl champ with the New England Patriots. 4-time Pro Bowler. And he was the first to break Walter Payton's record of 275 yards in one game, which was set in 1977. Corey Dillon broke it in 2002 with 278. And it has since been broken twice by Jamal Lewis at 295 and Adrian Peterson at 296. Jamal Charles, 10 seasons, 44 touchdowns, 4-time Pro Bowler, 1 rushing touchdown leader, and he rushed for 1,000 yards 50% of the time. 5 out of those 10 seasons.
I mean, as far as I know, he's still playing. I don't know if he's...
Is he still on Denver right now?
I'm not really sure.
I'm not either.
But
it's just weird.
I think that his career kind of got sidetracked a little bit with injuries.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate. I think he was one of the more flashy. I think I would compare him even to Priest Holmes, sort of.
I think he has one of the highest yards per carry average of all time.
I would believe it. When he broke it, he broke it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, injuries are factored in.
Let's be honest. A big argument for Corey is rushing for 100 yards in the Super Bowl and being a huge factor for them. That's a big thing. Jamal never got that opportunity.
He never got the opportunity. See, I don't factor in championships like you guys might. I know you factor.
I just factor in that he was relevant. Like if you just made this, like if you were Adam Morrison and you have championships, but you didn't.
Don't talk about the GOAT like that.
But you didn't do
Don't talk about the GOAT like that.
I'm not giving you credit.
Don't talk about the GOAT.
Corey Dillon played. He actually played in the game. He wasn't warming anyone's bench. He played. And he balled out.
When the GOAT comes out of your mouth like that, you respect him. Give the GOAT his due respect. Anyways.
In this case, that GOAT is you are what you eat.
Corey Dillon will be remembered for his Bengals days. I don't think anybody really remembers him for his 1 Super Bowl win with the Patriots. Everybody remembers him being a beast with the Bengals. Beast with the Bengals. Straight up beast mode. Fuck Marshawn Lynch. He didn't even make our fucking list.
He didn't.
Beast mode my ass, bitch.
Either did Arian Foster, which just blows my mind. But...
What? You could have put him on your list. Like, chill.
I had 6 better people. You
guys
don't.
So obviously he wasn't that great in your eyes.
I said he was 10th on my list.
Well, guess what? He didn't make 10th on any of our lists.
No, apparently not.
He didn't make top 18. I'm going Corey Dillon. I love Corey Dillon. I think I was actually kind of a fan of the Bengals back then. I just liked their fucking uniforms mostly.
Whoa. You need to calm down. A
fan
of the Bengals.
Like that, please?
It was mostly because of their uniforms. Not so much because of the Bengals as an organization.
Let's see here. We're at
kinda. That wasn't. I was like a full-fledged Bengal.
You don't have to defend it. You're a Bengals fan.
30 mark. Okay, got it written down here.
I'm out.
This guy's a fan of every team. To be fair, the Jaguars and the Bengals, I think, have the sweetest jerseys. I think they do.
The Jaguars?
The Jaguars jerseys? You don't think they're cool?
Nowadays, no.
I like them.
I like the old school. I don't like the helmets. I think that's what turns me off of them.
Okay, I don't either, but I like the colors on their uniforms.
Okay.
Either way, Corey Dillon would have made my list, but he did make my list.
Jesus.
All right.
Who brought this guy? He's all flustered because he's a Bengals fan now.
I'm gonna. That's what happens when you're a Bengals fan.
I'm out. Out of here.
All right. While we have this little intermission, I'm gonna take this off the rails. Who would you say has the worst colors? Like Oakland?
No, I like the black and silver. You don't?
No, it's not that. I'm just trying to think.
It's all blue.
Yeah, it's too plain. Blue, red, white, and blue.
Plain and to go the same route, the Colts, just white and blue.
Yeah.
I love the Bucks jerseys. I think they're really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I know
Carolina's
a few years ago,
sweet.
Russell Wilson had one of the highest selling jerseys, and a lot of people really like Seattle's. They like the color scheme, the lime with the dark blue and the gray.
It's one of those, like, they either love it or hate it type.
Yeah, well, the lime is very, particular. You have to,
I don't like it when the 49ers go all black. I don't think that looks right. Like,
Yeah, I
they never
don't
do
either.
it right.
I like the red and gold though.
You know who I do like that when they do all black, and since he's not really listening, the Eagles. The Eagles.
Well, the black and that forest green look good together.
Ooh, Atlanta when they do their throwbacks. I like their throwbacks.
I like the jerseys. I like the black and red. I don't like Washington. I don't like the maroon and yellow or
No.
wine and yellow.
That's nasty. I think the Texans are too plain.
I know a lot of people like silver and blue, but I'm personally not a fan of the Dallas jersey.
No, too plain.
Plain.
Yeah.
Minnesota, I'm not a fan of purple.
I don't mind it. Like, I like their helmets too. That they went with the faded.
That's a
matte
bracket
color.
we should do, by the way, is helmet.
Helmet.
I saw a bracket last year, not a bracket,
Well,
a ranking
we have
on ESPN
32.
of the. A what?
We have 32 teams.
Yeah,
Let's do
32
it.
already done.
Yep.
I saw a ranking of the greatest helmets of all time, and I'll just do the number one, and we can talk about it right now. The number one was the Chargers. What do you think of their helmets?
Which one? Like nowadays?
The Bolt right nowadays.
Yeah, I like that. I didn't like it when they had the name.
Okay.
Or when they had the blue helmets. I didn't like the blue helmets. I like the white though. The white with the lightning bolt looks, especially when I like their color rush uniforms.
I was just gonna say I like their color scheme too. I like their jerseys.
Yeah, their color rush ones though, in particular, that blue, that shade of blue. It's not the dark navy. It's the lighter blue.
Yeah, it's like the powder blue.
Yeah.
And he's back.
Did we advance Corey Dillon yet, or what?
Hey,
What's going on?
He didn't pick yet. He was waiting on you. He wanted,
we got sidetracked and started talking jerseys and uniforms.
and we thought about a bracket. There's already 32 of them. Debate the best helmet in football.
Okay.
ESPN did one last year, and they had Chargers ranked number one. And I was just asking Kevin, do you like the Chargers helmet?
That was number one, no?
Well, that's what we'd have to debate.
That's what we're gonna have to debate.
As for this, I'm going Corey Dillon just because I remember him more than Charles. When you think back in history, like, who stands out more in your mind? And I think Corey Dillon and his association with the Bengals, and it seemed like he was like one of the few bright spots for the Bengals for all those years. So
I think it's really unfortunate because I think Jamal Charles could have been really great.
Yeah.
Had it not been for the injuries.
Well,
But just his style of running and his
size. He's
yeah,
not big.
his size. He was not a very big running back. He's kind of one of those speed backs,
Mhm.
you know, and those ones usually tend to get hurt more.
Can we just talk about the run the Chiefs had at running back though for a while?
Yeah.
Priest Holmes, Larry Johnson, Jamal Charles, back to back to back,
And now Kareem Hunt.
and now Kareem Hunt. What the?
whoever their running back
They
scout
apparently know
is,
how to-
can
they apparently know what running backs are going to work.
who's their running back scout? I think some other teams need some assistance.
Yeah. So I think we're all in consensus here. Corey Dillon moving on.
Yeah, I'm picking him.
I mean, if you're not picking your favorite of all time, then you might as well just walk the fuck off the
no,
show.
I gotta pick him here. He's better than Jamal Charles. Next round gets trickier. I'll take it when I get there.
There we go.
Well, here we are, the next round. Priest Holmes and Frank Gore to open up. 1 versus 16.
1 versus
We
16.
already learned about Priest. Do you want me to brush it up or just go straight to
Go
Frank?
straight to Frank Gore.
Go to
Frankie.
the number 1 seed.
Frankie, all 13 seasons in the 2000s.
Is Frank Gore?
I think he's still in the league.
Yeah, he is still in the league.
He's on the
I know he
Dolphins.
is.
He
I was
just
trying
signed.
to figure out if he was the only one that's still actively playing.
He's the oldest active player, or active runner, excuse me. That was in his draft.
I know he's the oldest. I'm not saying. I just wanted to see if he was. I think.
Oh, the only
Unless
one
Adrian
playing
Peterson
still.
plays
right,
this
right.
year.
McCoy.
Oh, McCoy. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, he's gonna play at some point
Maybe.
Frank Gore, 14,026 yards, fifth,
and still going.
and still going, fifth all time. Like I said,
All in the 2000s.
all in the 2000, all 13 years. 77 rushing touchdowns. Not a lot when you factor in how many seasons he's played. 5-time Pro Bowler, though. Pretty good.
Solid.
Like I said, he's fifth. Priest, real quickly, he was a Super Bowl champ, and he has 78 touchdowns. He has more touchdowns in almost half the seasons. And a 3-time Pro Bowler and 2-time rushing touchdown. We talked about. He's a touchdown crazy type runner. Okay, that's all I have. Quick recap, Priest. The chosen
Frank
one.
Gore is like, he's just like the ageless wonder. Like, I feel like he just never slows down.
Kind of like Emmett.
Wasn't he
Emmett
injured
played
early?
well when he was on Arizona.
Yeah,
Wasn't
he did.
he
Yeah, I know,
injured
so, like,
early in
they-
his career too, though? Like,
What's that?
didn't he get injured early in his career?
Yeah, he did. On
With the
San Fran.
49ers?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe he rested up.
I mean, other than that, other than early in his career, I think he's been pretty much healthy. Like,
He was the staple of the 49ers when they went through some really rough years.
Yeah.
Heck, he was
And-
the staple of the Colts in the last 2 years too. So.
yeah, well, I don't think that was by choice. That's that was more or less, we don't have anything else. You're kind of all we got.
He had what?
Frank didn't get
2,000
pushed out of
years
town
in the
till
last 2 years.
Mr. Carlos Hyde.
Who did not make the list and will never make a list.
Greatest good of us.
Carlos Hyde, greatest bust of all time. I love Frank Gore. I've drafted him years. I could probably go back like 10 years and I probably drafted him.
Every season he's played.
I feel like, you know what, even on the years, he's usually like that running back that like, oh shit, I haven't drafted a running back and they're all gone. Wait, Frank Gore's still there. Let me draft him because he's going to do something.
Yeah.
He always does something.
Really on Miami though?
Is he on Miami now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he? Because they got that Kenyon Drake guy.
Yep.
That'd be interesting. I'm gonna say I was gonna draft him this year.
Oh, you will.
I
You'll be
won't.
like, is pick 22 Frank Gore still there? I'll take him.
Pick 5.
Frank's
Gore.
still out there?
Holy shit, Frank Gore made
No
round
one-
5.
No one
Drafted him.
kept Frank Gore on their team.
So he was a 1 seed in our bracket. How the fuck did he drop in round 5?
Shit, he won our bracket. What?
This is tough because, it basically comes down to what you value more. Do you value yards or do you value touchdowns? Because I feel like if you value touchdowns, Priest Holmes is a beast.
Touchdowns do put
And
points on the
does
board.
Priest Holmes maybe, what did Priest Holmes have for yards? 7,000 something?
Mm-hmm. This was all in the 2000s too. He had 6,000. It was
6,000.
really low. He was a touchdown guy.
And he
That's
played
what
8
he was.
seasons, so 5 more seasons if he got around 1,000 yards a season.
Part of Priest's problem though is he shared the beginning of his career with someone else on our list that's ranked much higher.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I really think Priest Holmes' stats are kind of inflated by those couple of years, especially his touchdowns.
Yeah, when I looked him up, he had 3 amazing years out
Yeah.
of 8.
Yeah.
Frank has a lot more than that.
Yeah,
Frank had so many stats, I cut him off.
Yeah,
So-
Frank, I think if you wanted to, he's one of those running backs like that you don't even like really think
If
about.
someone just asked you who are the top 5 rushing, rush leaders of all time. Does Frank Gore come out of your
No.
mouth as a guess?
No,
Mine either.
No.
So there's that.
I think he's just one of those guys. He just flies under the radar, but he's
Very good.
very good.
I mean, he's averaged
Borderline great?
4.3 yards a carry his
Is it
whole
fair to say
career.
he's great?
Oh, I'd say great.
He's
I
get-
think,
he's
especially
getting into Canton.
with he's in Canton for sure.
Well, top 5 all time. that stamped it.
I think the fact that when you think of a running back's career, the duration usually of a running back's career,
Durability and longevity.
usually just not like their prime years are not very long. I feel like he's extended I wouldn't say he's in his prime
No.
right now, but he's
I think that's a stretch.
he's definitely extended. I mean, he's put up solid numbers well into his 30s.
Mm-hmm.
I can't vote against him. I would have to go Frank Gore, absolutely, hands down.
Kevin, it's on you.
Ooh, Frank Gore, Priest Holmes. I'll go Frank Gore just based off of who I would like draft if they were available in the fantasy draft towards me. I feel like Frank Gore gets you consistency where Priest Holmes was like boom.
I don't know if it was one of those like 3 years where Priest Holmes was killing it. I would probably be drafting Priest Holmes.
I'm going Frank Gore.
I'm taking Priest.
I'm not one to go with consistency in a fantasy draft. I'm like, this guy's gonna break out this year. Let me draft him, and then he doesn't break out, and then I'm fucked.
Except when Carson Wentz breaks out, then it works.
I mean, I knew that was coming.
Play the fuck Philly.
Clinton Portis, Fred Taylor, you're 8 versus 9. I swear to God, if you play it, I will walk off the show.
Clinton Portis.
These are 2 of my top 6.
Hold on, did Priest Holmes win?
Oh, Frank Gore won.
Yeah, you both picked Frank. I didn't even have to talk about it.
Yeah. Right. Unless you wanted Syria, which you didn't. So. Clinton Portis, Fred Taylor, middle of the pack running backs here.
Want me to give you the synopsis?
Give me the synopsis there, Corey.
Clinton Portis, all 9 seasons, 2000s. 9,923, so just shy of that 10,000-yard club. Which pretty much stamps you, by the way, to get into Canton. 75 rushing touchdowns, 2-time Pro Bowler, and rushed for over 1,000 yards 6 out of the 9 seasons. That's pretty damn good.
Pretty solid.
Sleeper, another guy a lot of people don't talk about in this high yardage club. Even though he only has 9,740 in the 2000s, he played before that. He is in the 10,000-yard club. We can't judge that, but just saying, he'll be in Canton. He has 11 seasons, 46 touchdowns. Not really touchdown heavy. The Jags weren't studs back then.
They had Byron Leftwich.
And they actually had one of the best receivers, Jimmy Smith. 1 Pro Bowl. But he did rush for 1,000 yards 6 out of the 11 years. Pretty good. In the 2000s alone. I think he had 8 total. But either way. Evenly matched guys, I would say. So have fun picking.
I would say, yeah. It's a tough one. I don't know where Fred Taylor played college ball.
The U.
They both played the U?
Oh,
Clinton Portis played
was
U.
that the U?
Clinton Portis was definitely the U.
Well, we have a lot of U. Because Frank Gore's from the U.
Fred Taylor played at the University of Florida.
Oh, Florida.
Oh.
I was just...
The wrong U.
The wrong U.
Right state, wrong
Right
U.
state. Close. So Gator versus a Hurricane.
A little further north.
Yeah.
I mean...
I just knew Jacksonville was like his home because that was a big deal back then for them to get somebody, from that area.
I think Fred Taylor also, towards the end of his career, he had, what's his face there coming in, didn't he?
Jones-Drew.
Yeah, Maurice Jones-Drew.
And part of a lot of people, Fred had an unfortunate nickname called Fragile Freddy. He was known to get injured. He'd have huge 8-game stretches and then get hurt. So he could actually be even higher on all-time rushing lists, but he was definitely injury prone.
Just to give you some idea about his injuries, starting with 2000, he played in 13, 2001, 2 games, and then he played in back-to-back full seasons, and then 14, 11, 15, 15, 13, and then ended his career in New England for 2 years with a combined 13 games. So
yeah, it was unfortunate for him. He could be like a top 10 rusher all time. Injuries definitely derailed him.
I think it's hard to argue against Clinton Portis in this matchup. 9 seasons, 6 out of 9 over 1,000.
Got the Redskins into the playoffs.
Only RG3 can claim that.
I mean, he started off with Broncos, right?
Yes.
Started off with the Broncos, came to the Redskins.
Broncos are another team, by the way, that just gets running back after running back.
I used to think it was just their line, though.
Yeah.
But because then, like, the running backs would leave there, and then they would do nothing. But Clinton Portis obviously did do.
Yeah, because he did something in Washington. Yeah. He was the real deal.
75 rushing touchdowns, solid number.
Out of 9 seasons?
I think, yeah. That's almost 10 a year. A little less. I'm going Clinton Portis on this one. I think the stats themselves decide this one.
My turn? Or I was just kind of always being the tiebreak because I'm going over the stats. So, Kevin, if you want to go.
Well, I mean, when I think of these two, and I sit there and I try and think, I feel like Fred Taylor was more of a name for himself and his team than Clinton Portis was on any of his teams. I feel like when you say Jacksonville, you think Fred Taylor.
Absolutely.
Mark Brunell, early days. So I think for that reason, I'm going to vote Fred Taylor.
You know what, Kevin? I was up in the air, but you just sold me last second. I'll go Fred Taylor.
Jesus.
And it's mainly just because I associate him.
I love Fred Taylor. Don't get me wrong.
I just love his. I remember just his talent is crazy. If he just stayed healthy, he'd be higher on our list.
I wanted Syria, but I'm not gonna.
Not wasting it there.
No. I got bigger fish to fry, I think. Here comes the old 5 versus 12 upset alert. We got the edge.
I don't have an alarm.
I'll pick these two guys.
I'm gonna have to get an alarm for this.
All right, Edgerrin James. He actually played 11 seasons, but only 10 in the 2000s. 10 part of the 10,000 club, 10,693 yards, 67 total touchdowns, 4-time Pro Bowler, 2-time rushing leader. Pretty good stats, played on the Colts for a while. Then finished his career in Arizona, which it seems that's the retirement home these days. Sean Alexander, 9,543 yards, all 9 seasons in the 2000s, 100 touchdowns. 3-time Pro Bowler, one of, I think, only 2 running backs on our list to be an MVP
I was gonna say,
in 2005. 1 rushing title, though, out of all those
Probably
seasons.
that MVP year.
Yeah, when he had 27 touchdowns. I didn't even put that on here. I could keep going with Sean. His numbers are ridiculous if you're a fan of stats. 2-time rushing touchdown leader. One of those was the 27 touchdown thing that he had. Okay.
Did you put it on? Is he one of your guys? No. It was mine. That's what I thought.
Oh, all right. I wonder who I cut. Oh, I cut him for McCoy. I had him on there.
I was like, wait, I'm pretty
Okay,
sure
so
I pushed Sean.
Edge versus Sean. Let's go.
Was Edge ever on cover of Madden?
I don't think so.
I don't know. I think that sells me right there. Cover of Madden, Sean Alexander, face of the Seahawks. I don't even know if he played. Did he play for another team? Did he go somewhere at the end of his career?
I don't know.
He played for the Redskins.
Oh.
No. The other place people go when they're done.
For 1 year.
1 year, yep. Played in 4 games. Nothing. Nothing.
24 yards, man.
Yeah, that's solid. Solid year for
5 years of 1,000 or more yards.
I don't know. I think Sean Alexander goes down as, I mean, the dude was a beast in my book. Edgerrin James was great.
How are you a beast and you only have 1 rushing title?
We have 100 touchdowns.
So that's like the Priest Holmes factor, though. We put Frank Gore past that.
But Frank Gore. Go back up and look.
About what?
Oh, stop.
Go to Edge.
Yeah. Dude's had 10 seasons.
And 1/5, 20% of the time he had the title.
Okay.
That's high.
So he had one more title.
1 out of 9 is a much lower percentage than 12. I can't even do that in my head.
What do you mean it's a much lower percentage than 2 out of 10? 1 out of 9 is much lower than 2 out of 10?
Yes.
You realize that, like, the less total means that, like, that
1 out of 10 would be 10%.
Jesus Christ, I'm going to do the math right
so
now.
1 out of 9
You're going to make me do the math
is a
right
little
now.
higher than, what is it, 12% of the time he had the
I'm
Russian
going to do the
title?
math. I'll let you know.
12%. Maybe 13.
It's 11% of the time. So, okay, you got 9% more.
That's a lot.
Wow.
And he was on the Colts.
If you had won,
They-
the rushing title half the time, yeah, okay, I
It's-
can do that.
I mean, can't really
The
say.
Seahawks weren't even, like, great then.
They made a Super Bowl.
Yeah, because of Sean Alexander. Did Edgerrin James lead them to a Super Bowl?
No,
No.
the year after they traded him, they won.
Yeah. Exactly. Something to tell you there. It wasn't that great.
I think they won with a Mr. Jay Ajayi. No, Jay Adai.
Yeah.
What's his name? Jay Adai?
Something like that. It was not.
No, not
It's
Jay
not
Adai. You know, it's Ajay or something.
It was Joseph Adai.
Joseph Adai.
Yeah. We might get there.
He was non-factor. Obviously, he wasn't in our 2000.
It was Peyton Manning. The reason they won a Super Bowl had nothing to do with anything with the running
the reason
game.
they won a Super Bowl is because they played Rex Grossman and the lowly Bears that shouldn't have even been the ball.
But they got past the Patriots.
Yeah.
That's why they won the Super Bowl.
Either way, it had nothing to do with that. George Sean was.
Either way, does Edgerrin James have an MVP season? No. I mean, also on the cover of Madden? No. I don't know what else. I don't know what else I need to say. But I'm sold on Sean Alexander on this one.
I mean, he does have 1,200 more receiving yards. But I will give the nod to Sean Alexander just based off of the Madden cover.
No, I'm not listening.
Not doing it. Oh, this is back-to-back brackets
I'm
with
not
the
going,
12-5
I'm not
upset.
going against an MVP.
12-5 upset is real, ladies and gentlemen. For you in the UK that may not follow March Madness, 12-5 upset happens quite frequently in March
They might
Madness.
not even know who some of these runners are.
They've
They've just been introduced to football in the last few years.
Come on.
That is not true. They had
They've
NFL
known about
Europe.
football.
When else have they been introduced?
They
Just
had
'cause they didn't have
NFL
games
Europe.
played there, they were still watching it. How do you
They-
think? What you think? Everybody just came out like, oh, there's a football game. Let's just go to this.
Sure.
No, they knew teams. They knew players. Granted, Jacksonville sucked dick back then, but when they first came,
Not much has
From
changed.
you mean
1991,
Jacksonville's probably the second best team in the AFC right now.
from 1991 till 2007, they had NFL Europe. So that.
There you go.
Sorry,
Shout out to
sorry,
the
I
UK.
wasn't following NFL Europe when I was 5.
Shout out to the UK. Corey doesn't like you, but me and Kevin, all our love to you, UK.
Except when Anthony Joshua, who you guys all love, fights Wilder, you're going to hear these two go nuts for America.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah.
America.
I mean, no offense, UK.
And then UK, I will be back on your side.
No offense, UK, but America's better.
America.
It's the reason we fought for independence. So we're better. And we won. Anyways, on to the 4 versus 13 matchup. One Mr. Steven Jackson. That's number 4.
Another one that kind of under the radar as far as his yardage totals. But anyways, you didn't work on
And number 13 is the lowly Mr. Warwick Dunn.
I feel like this is a homer pick.
This is most definitely a homer pick. This was almost like me picking Brian Westbrook originally.
Yeah. Don't get me started on that. This is a little better than that. Steven Jackson 11,438 yards, so he's a member of that club, which most likely puts him in Canton. 12 seasons, but only 69 touchdowns in 12 years. Not a lot.
Not a lot.
3-time Pro Bowler, though. So, I like percentages for those out there. That's 25% of the time.
Thank you.
Rush.
What's the percentage of that?
8 times, 75%.
How did 3 out of 12
I don't know.
equal 25%? And then 75% is, wouldn't it be 9 out of 12 is 75%?
Close. I can't do that.
We
tight
don't
of
know
math.
math.
I
but
can't
we
do
might
that
know
tight of
sports.
math on the fly.
Thanks anyway.
Steven Jackson. Pretty solid numbers, actually. I was kind of poo-pooing the idea he was on the list until I looked him up. Then work done. 9 seasons, 8,347 yards.
1,000 a year.
No. 43 TDs. Almost to a year, right? No.
That's more than and 18 touchdowns,
18
apparently.
touchdowns.
Your math,
Yeah,
your
almost.
math is suspect. right
Almost,
now.
it is. Almost 5 touchdowns a year. So
That's a little better.
3-time Pro Bowler, rushed 1,000 yards 4 times.
What's the percentage on that?
Oh, no.
Less than 50. We'll give you that.
All right. Walter Payton, Man of the Year in 2004, which means
That right there sells me.
I put it on there because it means he's a good person and he was doing stuff for his community. He's the only one, actually, out of all our running backs.
And his stats weren't great, so you were trying to butter him up a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, because he also forgot about his almost 3,000 rushing yards in the 2010 receiving touchdowns. Started the trend of the backs
Say
that
that
we
again? What?
He's talking about
3,000 yards.
almost
Rushing and
3,000 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns receiving.
Yeah. Well, I was just all these people. I only did their rushing stats.
You can factor that in if you'd like to.
Yeah,
That's
that's
why I
fine.
put
You
him
were
on
gonna
my
have
list.
to if you were putting Westbrook in.
Well, I think his running game spoke for itself, but
Do you?
I wasn't even going to bring in the receiving because that would have just been unfair. I would have pushed him to GOAT status.
Okay.
But
Right with Adam Morrison.
And
Yeah.
Carson or Jay, whatever his fucking name
Oh
is.
God. Joseph Adai.
No, it's quarterback. That won the MVP.
Sam
Foles.
Darby.
Foles.
Oh, Nick Foles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's GOAT material already. We know
Yes.
that.
Okay. Just can we please get through this Jackson Dunn matchup?
That's, I don't even. I'm not even gonna try to explain myself on this one. It's just Jackson.
And I'm going done. Because he got the Walter Payton Man of the Year.
Okay, Corey.
It's just Jackson though. You Syriaing this one?
No, I don't care.
Oh, okay.
I'm not serious in this whole bracket.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
He doesn't care who wins.
I don't have any runners in here.
well, you had one. We're done.
Nah.
Your 6 versus 11 matchup. 2 powerhouse running backs. Jamal Lewis played, if not, no, definitely not his whole career because he was on the Browns as well, right?
Yep. Stayed in the AFC North.
Mostly with the Ravens. Solid running back. And your 11 seed would be a one Mr. Tiki Barber.
Okay, Jamal Lewis, 10 seasons, 10,607 yards. Easy math. 1,000 a year, basically.
Consistent.
58 TDs, though. Not a lot, but we talked about the person who was stealing them all from him. They played together, Priest Holmes. Also, Super Bowl champ. They played together. 1 Pro Bowl, 1 rushing title. 2,006 yards in 1 season. Only 1 of 4 people to rush for 2,000.
1 of 4 all time.
All time. Mr. Eric Dickerson, Mr. Jamal Lewis, Mr. Adrian Peterson, and Mr. Chris Johnson.
Very nice.
Okay, those are very nice numbers, very nice stats. If you're a stat guy, you'd probably favor Jamal. But Tiki Barber 9,514 yards in only 7 seasons. Very nice.
Very.
More than 1,000 a year.
Some would say.
52 touchdowns.
Not more than 10 a year.
No.
But getting close. Close.
Good.
Some
Three-time
may
Pro
say
Bowl,
he
three-time
quit in
Pro
his prime.
Bowler in only 7 seasons. Very nice. Rush for 1,000 yards. This is the one that gets me. 6 out of 7 years. Very good stats. Very good runner. Very good program. But once he left, the Giants started winning Super Bowls. So it's on you.
Jamal Lewis. I will always remember him for when he broke that record of 270.
Oh, he
yards.
broke Corey Dillon's at 278.
Yeah, and ran for 295.
Yes.
Was that like it? I feel like did it happen in the same season?
No, it happened 3 years later.
Did Adrian Peterson
Do it in the same season? Yes.
He did.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew somebody.
That was.
It was
yes.
crazy. I
Yeah.
just remember it was being crazy.
That was back when Adrian really felt he was the best and could start proving it.
Yeah.
Oh, you can do that? I can do it too.
Yeah. I'm not a big Giants fan. I did put Tiki Barber on my list because, I mean, as much as I hate the Giants, it was nice. 6 out of 7 years, 1,000 yards.
Pretty good brother duo. Randy Barber is no slouch either, huh?
I mean,
Kevin?
could it be argued the best brother duo?
In all of sports.
But I mean, I guess
Are we just doing all of sports?
No, just
and
football.
just football?
Just football.
Yeah.
Yeah, not all sports.
Okay. That's a whole different argument.
What are you gonna argue?
The Klitschko's holding the heavyweight titles for years and years and years and years.
Nobody gives a fuck about boxing. It's a fucking scam.
Oh.
Anyways, I think when you break a single game record, that just pushes you to an upper echelon.
When you rush for 2,000 yards in a year,
That too. That'll do it too.
That'll usually help.
and get a Super Bowl. I mean, the guy has really good stats.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jamal Lewis on that one.
I mean,
Kind of under the radar though. Like no one talks about, oh yeah, Jamal Lewis. He's one of the greatest runners ever. But he kind of was.
He did solid in Browns too.
I know he did.
I mean, he played with the old Browns and the new Browns. I give it to Jamal just out of pity more than anything. Like anyone that had to play for the Browns.
Right? Jesus.
Moving him on.
Jamal Lewis on to the next round. This should be a good matchup. Here's
All Day
3
versus Sticky Ricky.
3 versus 14.
Is this a good matchup? Guess we'll get to it.
We'll get to it.
Adrian Peterson, 11 seasons, 12,276. Also more than 1,000 a year.
Your math is coming along. I like it.
Mhm. 99 touchdowns. Almost 10 a season. A little less.
A little less.
7-time Pro Bowler. Ridiculous. I think our only other MVP.
Yeah, I think so.
Nope, excuse me.
You're right.
MVP in 2012. 3-time NFL rushing leader. 2-time rushing touchdown leader. And he holds the record for the most rushing yards in a single game with 296, which you mentioned he broke the same year Jamal Lewis did. Sticky Ricky. What do we got? 8,223 yards. 10 seasons. Sat out 06, though, and only played 1 game in 2007. 64 touchdowns. 1 Pro Bowl, 1 rushing title, and rushed for 1,000 yards 5 times.
Didn't
Those
he
2
also
seasons
play
don't
in the
count towards
Canadian?
his 10. Just threw that in there.
Okay.
Did he also play in Canada too?
Maybe he. I feel like I remember that. I do remember him doing something in Canada.
I know if you were arguing college running backs, there's a lot of people who think Ricky's the greatest college runner of all time.
Reggie Bush all day.
Barry Sanders all day.
Okay, guess that's a bracket for another day. I mean, if Ricky could just fucking put down the fucking weed, dude would have been probably.
The Saints had high hopes when they drafted him. High hopes.
Who they didn't.
And Mike Ditka was their coach.
Didn't they not want to draft him, or they could have drafted somebody else over him or something?
It worked out though. He had 1,000 yards rushing his rookie year.
They traded him away.
But this is in the 90s.
He played for the Toronto Argonauts.
Ricky Williams also, fun fact.
Which year was that, Kevin?
2007. He also
so
created.
He got suspended again, and then he just decided to play in Canada that year.
And that's when Canada developed the Ricky Williams rule, where if you get suspended from the NFL, you can't play in the CFL.
Perfect.
Nice.
He's got a rule after him.
That goes down on his stat sheet.
That goes down. Type it in right now.
Okay.
I mean, I think if Ricky had actually played up to his potential, put down the fucking joints once in a while, maybe he could have had an argument against AP, but I mean, I will go on record as saying that
you like
this
marijuana?
was the original beast mode in my books.
Ricky?
Yeah. No, I take that back. The Boston's probably the original beast.
Not the refrigerator.
Jim Brown's
bear.
the original beast.
I don't watch Jim Brown though. I'm going by eyes. You like to go back farther than you were even alive for. I don't. I like to go with
What
what
about
I've seen.
Mike Allstott?
That's why he thinks LeBron's the GOAT, even though he saw Jordan.
Where the goat is right here, bro.
We already established that David Robinson's better than LeBron.
Adrian Peterson record. Will it ever be beat? Will anybody ever break 300?
Yeah.
In our lifetime?
Barkley.
Barkley will never break 300. I will go down on the books. I will bet you. I will pay you $1,000 if Barkley ever breaks 300. $1,000. If he doesn't, you don't owe me shit.
I'm not betting that.
$1,000. You don't owe me nothing.
Too risky.
This is all just on you.
Oh, if he doesn't, I owe you nothing?
Nothing. It's just me giving you
me
$1,000.
For calling it?
Just me making a stupid bet as I always do. Barkley's gonna fucking freak out this year. Probably first game one. It's gonna go off for 350 yards. I'm gonna go, okay, fuck my life. Here's my paycheck. Nice knowing you. We're not gonna shake on it though, so okay.
Moving on.
Adrian Peterson, arguably one of the greatest.
I think someone can hit 300 though.
I
think it's doable.
I think it is.
I'm joking about Barkley, but I think it's doable.
I think eventually we'll probably get back into a running back driven league at some point. I think it's going to cycle back.
Yeah.
I think it's going to cycle back where it's going to be a running back heavy league, and it might not be running back by committee anymore. And I think it doesn't even matter if you have the running back by committee, because I think they usually go with the hot hand, and if somebody gets hot a game, they're gonna ride that out. You know, I could see somebody like Zeke possibly going off for 300.
Lamar Jackson. Could you imagine if a quarterback did it?
Done this podcast. Can't even handle you anymore. I could see not Barkley ever doing 300, but Charles Barkley.
297 maybe.
This is like our longest bracket ever.
Adrian Peterson is my pick.
I'm gonna take Ricky Williams because he stood for what he believed in and didn't want to give up the icky sticky Sticky Icky.
Kind of never does anything by stats. It's always some other fucking random ass shit. Like what?
Well,
What is the point
he's
of
not
the-
a stat guy.
Not big in stats.
All right.
Well,
What do you got?
I don't need stats. I test. Adrian Peterson was
Okay.
better.
Perfect. Adrian Peterson, move on.
This is a much more interesting.
7 versus 10. LaShawn McCoy, Chris Johnson. I don't even have to argue this one. I'm going with the Philly. Born and raised.
Wife beater.
Chris Johnson's garbage.
You might want to use your series. LaShawn McCoy, 10,092 yards in 9 seasons, 66 touchdowns, 6-time Pro Bowler, 1 rushing title, and 1-time rushing touchdown leader. He was all right. Chris Johnson, 9,651 yards in 10 seasons, 55 touchdowns, 3-time Pro Bowler, 1 rushing title, but he does have the record for 2,509 yards in a single season. Who are you going with, Kevin?
Apparently, we're supposed to be going by stats. And the one stat I like to see is that he holds the single season rushing record. So I'm going Chris Johnson.
Me too. So we'll see what our host does when he comes back. Any other fun things you want to talk about while we're on break? What about those UFC fights? Are we getting to those today?
I don't know. It's not on the notes, but our greatest fighter ever was defeated.
Yeah, Demetrius Johnson. Did you see it at all? What happened?
I haven't gotten a chance to watch it. From what I hear, he may have just underestimated Henry Cejudo, thinking I beat
We beat before, right?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And then TJ with the first round knockout. I hear it looked like Garbrandt was just too into it. Was like the Jose Aldo McGregor fight again.
Yeah, I heard it was a slugfest early, and Dillashaw beat him at his own game.
Basically, who can outlast who?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I heard that one was entertaining, so I want to try to catch. It's only one round.
Yeah.
Kind of you and I both picked that in our thing.
I watched like 30 seconds. UFC posted like 30 seconds just before everything happened, and it was definitely entertaining from what I saw and from what's coming up next. How about McGregor and Nurmagomedov being announced?
I know. I'm
that's
so excited about that. And then Nate Diaz walking off the stage right after.
And that's not even Diaz is not even the main event for that fight card. They still
That's what he's pissed off about, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, they haven't announced who's the main event card, and I'm tending to lean the way of the conspiracy theorist Brendan Schaub, and he's like, well, you know, John Jones has gotten pretty active on social media again, and we know he's not taking on DC, and he's not taking on what's his face,
Gustafson,
Suplex City or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like it's going to be him versus Jones versus Gustafson too.
Oh, okay.
So that's what everyone's hoping, because that'd be a killer card with Diaz on there.
Yeah. Is Diaz still going to fight?
Yeah, he'll fight. I think it was just like a Connor type charade. Only know things through Windows. So.
Alrighty.
All right. So did you want to use your?
Yeah. Do you want to use your Siri? Because we both went Chris.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured as much. That's why we didn't move him on.
So
I don't know how it's an argument.
Heads or tails?
2,509 yards in a year.
1 year.
LaShawn McCoy hasn't even sniffed that. I think 1,400 might be his best year. 1,600, excuse me. It's right in front of me.
That's not sniffing it.
Heads or tails?
I figured as much.
No.
Sniffing it.
Heads or tails?
It's heads.
There you go.
McCoy, you got it anyways. Move it on.
See?
Thank you.
Let's keep moving.
So upset.
Who is you?
No, I'm not upset.
No, I don't even want to do this fucking bracket.
Oh, because Chris Johnson is out? Jesus. He wasn't that good.
Here's McCoy.
He almost did it twice.
But he didn't do it twice. He almost did it twice where?
Oh no, he didn't do it. I thought he did it almost 2,000 total. This one. This one's must be 2,509. So it's total scrimmage. Yeah.
Yeah. So he
It's
did
total
not.
scrimmage.
He just barely broke 2,000. So good stats.
Still the record.
Good stats. Nothing great. There's already a guy out here that's broke 2,000. Don't need another one.
Two of them. They're going against each other. Ladanian.
This is a big one for you. Number 2 seed LT LaDainian Tomlinson versus somebody's all-time fave, Corey Dillon.
Ladanian, 11 years, 13,684 yards, 145 rushing touchdowns, 5-time Pro Bowler, also an MVP in 2006, 2-time rushing leader, 2-time rushing touchdown leader.
Cover
Corey
Madden.
Dillon, he won a Super Bowl once. Okay. Moving on. Can we just get over it? Can we just get through
LaDainian
this?
Tomlinson. Number 1 seed Frank Gore versus number 9 seed Fred Taylor. Do we see an upset in the future?
I'm off stats now, so I could argue. No.
Freddie T is not enough to take out Frank
No.
Gore in my book.
Not enough.
Negative.
I gave him the win the first round off of potential. I'm not doing it potential over Frank.
I gave him the nod
You didn't give him the win
because
off touch. You gave him the win off.
If you didn't
Oh,
get hurt,
he's the face of the
Nostalgia.
Jaguars. That was
Oh,
why.
I like Kevin.
Yeah, that was the only reason you gave him the win.
I
my
like
weak ass argument.
I didn't,
Weakest argument you can come up with.
and I didn't like Bill Clinton.
What's that guy?
I don't know. I'm doing Kevin's.
Jesus Christ.
Kevin likes doing offbeat
What the
things.
fuck is this podcast coming to? It's not so fresh anymore.
It's clean.
Alright.
Are you Siri or what?
No. Are we moving Frank Gore?
No, Siri, I ain't talking to you, bitch. No.
That doesn't sound good.
That doesn't. You're right. Go to sleep.
Okay, Frankie. Ballpark. Moving on.
Conspiracy theories here going. The government, you said Bill Clinton, and they like tapped into Stefan's phone again. Jesus.
Yo, I swear to God, this fucking shit. 12 versus 4, Sean Alexander versus Steven Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Madden cover,
Going with the guy who actually won an MVP.
MVP,
Didn't
Sean
Steven,
Alexander.
Sean Alexander.
didn't Steven Jackson have a Madden cover?
Probably.
He may have. But he did not have an MVP. That much I know.
And he did rush for 1,000 yards 8 times, which is super impressive. But
Yeah,
he
it's
does
like,
not.
it's like 75% of the time.
Yeah, 75%. 12 is 75% of the time.
It's not.
66% of the time. Either way, Sean, doesn't matter. Percentages don't matter.
Can Jamal Lewis reclaim his title of 1 yard against Adrian Peterson?
Man, AP is an MVP, but Jamal has a Super Bowl. AP did 2,000 yards. Jamal Lewis did 2,000 yards. Jamal Lewis did 295. AP did 296.
I'm also looking at the disparity
Jamal
in
Lewis did
touchdowns.
10. Jamal Lewis did 10 seasons. AP did 11 seasons. This is where it gets interesting. Well, also the disparity in Pro Bowls.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really mean shit to me.
No.
The 58 touchdowns, 99 touchdowns. That's the big disparity. But we talked. Had Priest Holmes not been on the Ravens,
How many years was he even on the Ravens?
Jamal Lewis and Priest. I mean, Jamal Lewis touchdowns could have been higher. Oh no, while you research that, I'll say AP deserves them.
I mean,
Kid beating aside.
huh?
I said kid beating aside.
Adrian Peterson.
Allegedly, hit his kid.
Look how many yards they got back then.
Oh, but I want to look at Priest ones.
Ravens though, 02 to 06. You don't believe me? The Priest
I don't.
ball hawked him.
No. I don't believe you in a lot of things.
Priest was at the very top of that.
No.
No, he was at the top of one other year you just
Yeah.
said.
Back here. He wasn't even there. Fuck Philly. I swear to God.
02 to 06.
Who's already in KC in 02? Yeah.
More. He was there
For 1 year
in 2000.
out of Jamal Lewis's.
Because he was there first. Priest
And
is
he had
older.
2 touchdowns that year. So how was he ball hawk? He hawked it in 98. Okay.
Come on.
Adrian Peterson. Jamal Lewis doesn't even compare.
I already picked AG.
Alright. Well, I just wanted to prove it to him.
All that for nothing.
You didn't know what the fuck you were talking about, like usual.
Didn't even know he was on the Ravens.
McCoy,
News to you.
7th seed versus LT, the 2 seed. I feel an upset in the making. Not gonna happen, but I'm going McCoy. I
What?
think by the end of his career, he will top
Philly.
LT's.
Fuck
numbers.
Philly.
Closing in on him. What do you mean? What?
66
He's already got
Philly.
10,000.
66
I'm not talking about
touchdowns.
touchdowns.
He has 145.
I'm not talking about touchdowns. I'm talking about yards.
He's
Fuck
an MVP.
Philly.
McCoy won't ever be an MVP.
Maybe
No, he won't.
he gets off Buffalo.
Fuck
I'm
Philly.
going LaDainian. It's LT. The greatest running back of all time.
Lawrence Taylor. Moving on. Frank Gore versus Sean Alexander. Battle.
Battle of the under the radars.
Yeah, I'd agree.
And then
They weren't
on the
real-
other end, it's the battle of the top names. of
They
the
weren't really
2000s.
flashy, but they did their jobs.
Yeah.
And they did them well.
And Sean in particular, because they got to the Super Bowl. And he had 27.
I love the ageless wonder Frank Gore, but you got the Madden cover, you got MVP. Frank Gore doesn't have either of those.
Sean.
Going Sean.
Sean.
Plus more touchdowns. And Frank Gore's even still going and doesn't have 100 yet, so.
Okay, what are we doing here?
AP, LT.
If you had those two on your fantasy team, you were doing pretty good.
There's your basic championship matchup right there. This is like Golden State versus the Cleveland Cavaliers of this year.
This is the big debate. I mean, this will go down in history as the big debate.
This is like
Who was the better runner of the 2000s?
This is like Djokovic versus Nadal in semifinals. That was the real final.
The real final. Yeah, this is that. Sorry, Sean, but you aren't winning whoever wins this. Just let's quick. They both had 11 years. One had one. This is just ridiculous. 145 touchdowns to 99. 7-time Pro Bowler. LaDainian only 5-time. MVPs both. 3-time rushing leader for AP. 2-time for LT. 2-time touchdown leader for Tomlinson's. Shockingly.
Come on.
Come on, government. Two-time rushing leader for LT, 3-time rushing leader for AP, 2-time touchdown leader. They both wash in that as well. 2-time touchdown leader.
AP has the
That record 296.
LT never got even
LT
close,
never
I don't
sniffed
think.
that, but he has probably, if we counted receiving stats, are below AP out the water.
Let's say LT. I mean, if you just compare the two careers right there, the 2000s. I mean, I think they both were all the 2000s anyway.
They both
so,
are.
I mean, there's
It's LT.
you just look at touchdowns alone, and then yards. He's got more yards as well by a good 1,000.
5,000.
By
1,400.
Yeah. LT.
LT.
Light it up.
You can go all the way, too, by the way.
I don't know. I might. Does LT
This
have,
is where I'm going to have to use the Siri.
Does LT have a Madden cover, though?
Probably 5 of them.
I don't think he has any.
Kevin?
Kevin, who are you going with? I'm going to let Kevin go first.
Is it really even a debate?
Okay. LT, the champ.
The champ of the 2000s.
I think it's fair.
It was a tight test for APLT. That bracket kind of went how it should have.
It was good. Good bracket. Bracket boys are back.
Only 1 and 2 runoffs, and both were Stefan.
That was more just me with a small bladder.
By the way, our college football expert chipped in comment. College football is in the air. So he's getting itchy to be back on, it looks like.
Catch it.
I can't grasp it.
Catch it, Corey. Catch it. Come on.
It's like a
I just
butterfly.
want college football buzz.
Oh, okay. Just like the buzz around.
I'll just stick to the Heineken buzz.
Before we go, though, we've got some Big Brother 20 news. We're catching up.
Yeah.
Fucking Corey.
Let's talk about that.
Fucking Corey.
What? What about me?
Mister, I still have all my people.
And I still do.
Listen, I started off with a bang, losing 2 the first 2 weeks. But my 2 now are holding solid.
You secretly want me to win, though, because you love Brett.
Brett can still win. You can still lose fantasy.
Okay.
Sam is in trouble right now. 2 of her 3 remaining people on the block after the new hacker twist. Tyler put on the block, replaced what's her face? Who was it? Who was on the block before that?
Tyler replaced Rockstar?
No, Rockstar's on the block.
Oh, Rockstar's on the block.
Was it Scotty?
Scotty
Yeah,
was
Scotty.
So it wasn't a what's her face, what's his face.
Save,
Haley's kind of
save me.
framing Scotty for the hacker. Everyone thinks Scotty's the hacker.
Smart play by her. We'll
I
see.
can't believe she won that. How does Brett not win that?
But he's the funniest guy in the show.
He does 1s and 0s, not rearranging letters.
Brett doesn't win.
What do you guys think of the new hacker twist?
I don't like it.
No,
Not a fan.
too much power.
Too much
I
power.
think.
Yeah.
I get it.
I don't get. The game is, the last few years, slowly taking more and more power away from HOH. So what's the point of HOH?
Yeah.
Still get at least one of the.
You get a say in who gets up originally on the block, and now they're doing ways to take that away.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Don't like it. It's right there with kickers and fucking football.
Yeah,
One of
let's
my
just get rid of the
least
whole
favorite
show,
things.
right? Get rid of HOH.
Yeah, get rid of HOH. Fuck
It means nothing.
nothing.
Just have
Right.
them compete
You're
all
the
the time.
if you're the 2 worst people in the competition, up on the block. Get rid
Make
of
it
HOH.
Survivor.
Get rid of kickers, get rid of HOH. Want to talk about NASCAR? What happened?
Watkins
Oh,
led.
hold up, time out. Fucking told you so, bitch. Kenseth crashed, motherfucker.
Still got me 9 points.
Still crashed, like I said he would.
Yeah, Kenseth did crash. Finished 31st. Chase Elliott gets his first career win.
First career win.
At the Glen, in front of his daddy. Bill was there in attendance. The Glen is just a race of mostly pit strategy, as most road courses are.
We talk about how I wasn't supposed to gain points with
And
my
you
pick,
and you gain 5.
and I gained points.
You gain 5.
I gained points.
Um,
That's why I'm a NASCAR champion.
4 races left. Stefan with about an 80-point lead. Kevin with about 60 points on myself, 20 behind the leader or so. Right? Double check. Yeah, 20 or so.
You're like 90 behind me.
And then, I'm 60 behind Kevin, so that's where we're at. We're at Michigan. It's just a mile and a halfer. These are where the big boys tend to step up. So I went with Harvick as Stefan did decide to take a big boy with Boyer. And Kevin went with Casey Keene.
Also a big boy.
Not so much. That's why he lost his job. He was on Hendrick. He has been demoted.
Is he even still racing?
Yes. He's just not Hendrick anymore, so he doesn't have an elite team.
Kevin, are you going to hang on to second place?
That's what I'm hoping for. Just trying to stay alive. Just trying to keep up with Corey right now.
I'm trying to make a run.
Have you given up on going after the top spot?
Yeah. I got no one.
Yeah. He shot his load early. I'm trying to catch up. You're maintaining. Boyer will be a good one to maintain. I just got to hope for a Boyer rack.
Let's hope not.
Man, I haven't had a win since like June.
Talk about it.
It's been a few weeks.
1 is the loneliest number.
After that win,
yeah, it's been us.
you've only had 2 weeks in the 20s. It's been rough.
I've only had 1 week not in the 20s. No, 2 since then. Yep. And they were 1s. So that hurt.
That'll hurt you. I'm the only one.
You've only had 2 single digits.
I haven't had a single one.
Right. You've had 2 8s. That's it.
That's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen.
That's how you have the lead.
Take note.
ESPN the Ocho coming back this week. Tomorrow.
I don't know it went anywhere.
ESPN the Ocho?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's coming
I'm
back.
thinking of ESPN Deportes.
There you go.
Mamma mia.
What about the PGA Championship? What's going on with that, Kevin?
Oh, yeah. Things. People.
It's this weekend. No,
Yeah.
Thursday.
Dustin Johnson, the early fave?
Last major of the year.
Why is Johnson the favorite at every tournament? He isn't winning shit.
Because he just win something, too.
Yeah.
He, wins, all the other tournaments.
little
and
titles?
Everybody's like, oh, here he's turning it on for the majors. And then he can't even, make the cut.
How many majors does he have? Does he have 1?
He's got to have at least one. Or maybe they just keep banging on it. He's got to win one eventually.
He's got to win
That's what
eventually.
Every time. It's like me picking Ricky Fowler every time.
Yeah.
He's got to win one
But
eventually.
he's been consistent for you.
I went against Ricky Fowler this time, though. Figure 2 out of 4 is decent.
That's what I'm doing with Spade.
But I've only used 2 people. 2 different people for all 4 majors.
I've only used 3.
Should have gone Woods. Why didn't you go Woods?
No, I went Woods already.
Next year.
Next year.
Jason
Kevin taking the chance with Dustin Johnson again.
He's number 1 on the PGA Tour for a reason, and he's going to take home the PGA Championship. That's why.
Just giving up at this point, aren't you?
His best finisher in the PGA Championship is 5th, though. So
the total doesn't matter, so we already said that. So if Johnson...
Well, the total matters
only if there's a tie.
If Jason wins.
Right.
Which I don't even know who the fuck that guy is.
He's not winning.
If that guy wins, I'm done doing this fucking bullshit. I'm just done. I ain't fucking doing
Jason
this no
just pulls
more.
a rabbit out the hat late.
Shoots like a -15. We all miss the cut. He fucking wins the whole thing somehow.
Yeah.
I'm going with Justin Thomas. I think he just came off a win. Did he just win Bridgestone? Who won Bridgestone? You know? Off the top of your
Justin
head?
Thomas is one of the top 10 players.
I think it was Dustin Johnson that just won Bridge.
Was it? I thought Justin Thomas just did something, but I could just be full of shit, probably. Yeah, that's about all we got.
That's it.
That's all she wrote. Episode 82 wrapped up. Spent a good hour and 45 minutes talking football, so.
Well,
I mean, to be fair, we had some UFC in there.
yeah, well, you were gone.
Yeah, I know. I heard it.
We talked uniforms.
Next week, wide receivers. A-Town,
No.
Julio Jones, greatest ever.
Well, I guess wide receiver bracket's already done.
Roddy White,
Washington? That's
Greatest
what that
ever?
is.
Just the 2000s, right?
yeah.
No, everybody's not the greatest ever. Where does this guy get this stuff from?
Who's the other guy?
I told him LT was already going to win. LT won. I already know who's going to win our wide receiver one. I don't know why we're doing this.
What do you mean? T.O.?
No!
Yes.
No.
Yes.
He doesn't even show up to Hall of Fame.
Doesn't matter. You don't have to. When you're the GOAT wide receiver of the 2000s.
No. He's not even better than Randy Moss.
Randy Moss was in the 90s.
He's in the 2000s, too.
Barely.
Barely.
Tune in next week.
Apparently this is going to be heated for no reason. Who knows that?
Again.
UK. Send us a shout out on Facebook. We might know sports.
Shout out to Anthony Joshua, UK.
No.
You got a good one.
Hey, guess what? We can throw Marvin Harrison in this wide receiver conversation.
How many years did he play? 2? 2000s?
No, 2000 to 2008.
Ooh,
Bitch.
there you go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Oh, now you're gonna be interested in our bracket for once.
Hey, I was interested.
Yeah, you just didn't want to see it. That's fine.
Yeah. It's more fun to make you mad.
I wasn't even mad about anything.
No, he's happy LT won. It's because it's the right thing.
Mhm.
The right thing happened.
The right thing. Maybe I'll play Spoiler Maker next time.
Yeah, just mess everything up.
Yeah.
I'll take out the number 1 seed. I don't even give a fuck.
Number one, we're just going by yardage, right? It'll probably be.
Maybe I'll switch it up. Maybe I'll go by touchdowns.
Yeah, it might be too.
Maybe I'll go by best smile.
I mean, Terrell Owens has only got
Antonio
3
Brown is-
years. Never mind.
Best dance moves, maybe.
Ooh, does tight ends make the list? Do we
Did
get to
you
throw
see-
Tony
I don't know, how many-
Gonzalez?
Riverdance?
How many weeks we got left for
Not-
football season?
Not much. We got college football in 2 weeks.
We also got to do a big prediction show of how we think all
That's
the
in
teams are
3.
We got a quick new wide receiver.
Well, we
quick
got
new quarterback.
we got what, like 4 weeks of preseason, right? So starting this week.
Yeah, but
Wide
you got
receiver,
college
quarterback,
football
then
starting.
preview.
You gotta do college football preview.
Yeah, we'll have to put that in the quarterback.
Gotta come out with our rankings. Start researching. Make your top 25. Guess who's gonna make it?
Already got one.
Let's throw Syracuse on the list.
Naturally, they don't make our
Consensus.
whole. Yeah, they will not be on the top 25
I'm gonna do it too, Kevin.
unless
so-
you fucking put them at number
Yes.
1, like a fucking goddamn bitch. And I will
Kevin, if
just-
we get 2 votes of them on there, they'll make it.
no,
I'm gonna put him at like 16. He'll put him at like 15. They'll make it.
If he puts him at 16, I'll match it.
I'm not playing this fucking game. Okay. If you guys want to play this game, I'll put fucking Gonzaga number 1 in the college basketball all year long.
Well, we won't.
I don't even care how many games they lose. They could lose 20 games. I'll still have them.
We won't rank them then. We just won't make.
If they're number 1, they're gonna make it in the rankings.
Well, they'll be like 25th. And that's fine.
They'll make it.
I'm okay with that.
Syracuse is gonna be like 25th. What do you mean?
Okay. Not bad.
Joe's not putting them in there.
I mean, you don't matter.
Oh, hostile.
against ranked 25th. Let him make that
Okay.
list.
All right.
I'm not even doing rankings this year. Fuck it. Also quitting the podcast, so
You're the
you heard it
host.
here first.
You're the host.
Find a new host. I'm out.
After one episode.
One and done. I'm a one and done.
Too much of a word.
I'm out of the pros now.
ESPN
Moving
called.
on.
That's why he left.
Yeah.
So go.
Calm down. Saga's gonna be.
All right.